Hello, YouTube. They call me Julian Kelly, and this is the first ever April Fool's raddest, baddest gaming show on the internet. Today we'll be discussing money and XKCD, all while watching me play Kingdoms of Amalur. My name, of course, is Julian F. Kelly. Now, before I start, something I just want to go over about Kingdoms of Amalur, and a lot of people have compared this to Skyrim. I think the games are completely different. Now, obviously, they're similar in the fact that they're both RPGs, but I don't know. Kingdoms of Amalur comes across to me as more of a cartoony, sort of World of Warcrafty feeling game, whereas Skyrim is a very realistic, first person. I mean, it honestly reminds me of more of Call of Duty or other sort of grungy first person shooters than sort of the cartoony graphics and fun times that Kingdoms of Amalur give you. That being said, I love Kingdoms of Amalur. Actually, I might like it more than Skyrim, just because it gives you more of a sort of a straight storyline to go through, rather than a sort of jumbled, let's grab some cabbages and throw them at my empty Alto wine bottles. So the first thing I want to talk about today is money. And if you're me, you aren't making a whole lot of it. I do web design and graphic design, and it makes some money in bits and pieces. I also do sort of odd jobs, which makes some more money. But I also don't have to pay for food or rent. So that's all great. But games are really expensive. A movie ticket costs, what, $5 to $7 to $10. I guess it depends on where theater you're going or whether it's 3D. And a game costs like $60, $70. That's a lot of money. So what I like to do is follow sort of what XKCD author Randall Munroe does, or at least he says he does in an XKCD comic called Cutting Edge. And I think this is number 606. And he says that he buys games 5 years after they've been released. 5 years after a game's been released, it's pretty darn cheap. That's what? That's 2007. I think at that time, I mean, the PS3 and the Xbox were only 2 years old. So that's pretty long ago. I don't think you have to go back this far, though, because frankly, games like Deus Ex and Portal 2 are already going on sale. And Deus Ex recently went down to $7. $7 is really cheap. I mean, compared to $60, I think it was $60 on launch or $50 on launch. It's a lot cheaper, and it's a great game still. Also, new games like Gotham City Imposters, which are definitely not low-end, are also cheap. You just have to keep an eye out and sort of be more of a shark. Now, if you don't want to go through that and you really just want to get a new game, what I advise doing is getting one game that you're really committed to. And this is hard because lots of games are like, wow, this is really going to be good. And then you buy it and you play it and it's like, this is not really good, or my system can't run it, or something bad. So download a trial, download a demo, watch videos of it, really say, I'm going to play this game and I'm going to spend $60 on it, rather than, buying 10 different $6 games, which I'm like, not really going to play any of them. Or it's one of those indie bundles or something. Just buy one game and commit yourself to it. And a lot of people also think that pirating is an option. Pirating is never an option because it's not good for anyone. It's not good for developers, it's not good for players, and it's against the law. But, I mean, it's not good for developers because obviously they aren't making money, so they've got to raise the prices of their games. It's not good for players because suddenly prices are higher, and you don't get, if you are pirating them, updates are hard to get. You can't get DLCs. You've got to skirt around services like Origin or Steam. Bad. Don't pirate. Just end of story right there. So the next thing I want to talk about, though, is the fact that you may, get your hands on $60 or whatever. But if you go to your local game store, or if you get your hands on the $7, you go to your local game store, they're still offering the game at full price, or not a whole lot cheaper. But if you look on Steam, or if you look on any of these other sites or services, Origin, although I don't think Origin offers any deals, they're a whole lot cheaper. So the question is, how do you get your hands on stuff on the internet? And I think the answer is PayPal. Unless you've got a credit card, which, if you're a high schooler, you don't have a credit card. I don't have a credit card. I don't know any high schooler who's got a credit card. So PayPal offers a really appealing solution. It does require you to enter a credit card or a bank account once, which is okay. I'm assuming you've got parents or a guardian or something who does have a credit card. And it doesn't cost them anything. And suddenly you've got a virtual account to do stuff. If you want to get money on PayPal, you can always sell eBay stuff. Toys are great to sell on eBay. They sell like wildfire. You can sell them for pretty expensive. And I think there are certain gift cards where you can buy at drugstores or pharmacies that allow you to just enter the code and you get PayPal money. I've never seen these, so I can't be sure. But the internet says they exist. Whether that's true or not, I couldn't tell you. And the great thing about PayPal is that suddenly you can get M games. This isn't great. It's obviously, I don't know, I think it might be illegal for any high schooler to play an M game, unless you're obviously 17. But they're really good. And if, in fact, a whole lot of them are just like leaps and bounds better than any, T game that you're going to find. Prince of Persia, I think, was either T or E. And compared to Assassin's Creed, it sucked a lot. Assassin's Creed is all M. So you can't just go into a GameStop and buy it. Well, unless you've got a really nice GameStop owner. Obviously, with the internet, that's gone. And I think this is an ethical issue. Personally, I think that most M games aren't really... their content isn't too bad. And, again, they're really good. People are less concerned about making their games M these days. Same with movies, they're less concerned about making them R. And I think it's just a price you have to pay to get good games. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the raddest, baddest gaming show on the internet. My name, of course, is Julian Kelly, and behind me is Kingdoms of Amalur. I hope you all have a nice day. Goodbye.